Welcome to Nightfall Whisper Tales, a channel where powerful, imaginative stories are transformed into calm, cinematic sleep worlds. Here, you'll drift gently into realms filled with fantasy, adventure, and soothing narration. If you enjoy these dreamlike journeys and want more tranquil tales each week, please like and subscribe to help our stories reach more listeners seeking peaceful rest. In this video, we begin a calming retelling of Season of Storms, Part 1, The Lost Contract. Tonight, you'll follow Geralt as he faces misfortune in a city that buzzes with secrets and moonlit intrigue. Settle in as we meander with him through quiet moments of loss and reflection, unraveling the gentle start of a winding journey filled with politics, magic, and unexpected friendships. Chapter 1. The Moonlit Loss. Geralt arrived in the bustling city of Kerak under a tapestry of stars. The night air was thick with distant laughter and flickering lanterns lining narrow streets. Amid the clamor and strange scents, something precious banished both his swords, gone without a trace. As the city settled into sleep, Geralt wandered quietly, heart heavy, guided by the glow of the silver-lit riverbank. He stood by the water's edge, moonlight weaving ribbons across the gentle current. The noise of Kerak faded behind him, replaced by the calming song of ripples and night winds through tall reeds. Geralt's thoughts lingered on the weight of his loss. Each sword was more than steel. They were parts of his journey, memories forged in battle survived. Now bereft, he wondered about paths yet unseen. As shadows danced on the water, Geralt closed his eyes and let the uncertainty settle. His mind wandered through quiet questions. Who now held his precious blades? What new trials would dawn with the sun? For now, under the hush of night and silver sky, Geralt allowed himself this gentle pause, gathering resolve for whatever the city of Kerak would bring when morning broke softly across the land. Chapter 2. Whispers in the Market. The city awakened slowly, its marketplace alive with the soft hum of early risers. Geralt steps lightly around crates of fruit and woven baskets, the cobblestones cool beneath his boots. His gaze is sharp, but his movements unhurried, blending seamlessly among merchants setting up stalls. As he moves, he listens, sensing the currents of conversation that drift like smoke above the trading crowd. Rays of gentle dawn filter through the market's awnings, illuminating faces etched with stories. Geralt notices the sidelong glances cast his way, catching fragments of hurried whispers passed between vendors. He lingers at a baker's stall, listening as the soft patter of gossip weaves through the clatter of copper coins and the rustle of sackcloth, every murmur feeding his growing curiosity about the hidden truths of this place. He moves deeper into the maze of colors and scents, careful not to draw attention. The chatter around him is a shifting melody, interrupted by cautious silences whenever strange eyes appear. Geralt's keen ears pick up a merchant muttering about a foreign swordsman, words cloaked in suspicion and awe. Each cautious glance and muffled exchange entangles him further, pulling him towards secrets hidden beneath market smiles. Pausing beside a fragrant spice vendor, Geralt studies the weary lines on the merchant's face. Quietly, he asks about the night's happenings, his question barely louder than a breath. The merchant responds with a cautious shrug and a whisper about things best left unsaid in daylight, inviting Geralt to look closer between spoken words. Around them, the market's commotion fades into a subtle tension, thick with veiled warnings. With each step, the market reveals more of its delicate web threads of rumor and caution spun between every conversation. Geralt feels the weight of secret knowledge hovering just out of reach. As the scent of fresh bread and rain-soaked earth mingles in the air, he realizes the city's heart is wide awake, whispering clues to those patient enough to listen. The search for his stolen swords has just begun. Chapter 3. The Witcher's Offer. As the night deepens, Geralt rests near the dim campfire, his sharp senses aware of every shadow. Footsteps emerge from the silencer. Member of Kerak's guard steps forward, face partially lost in the shifting glow. The guard's words are careful, respectful, yet tinged with urgency. He presents Geralt with a proposition, one that could change the course of both of their fates. The guard explains the dilemma, a noble dispute simmering beneath the city's surface, threatening to erupt into chaos. He seeks Geralt's expertise not just as a swordsman, but as a neutral outsider. In return, the guard offers vital help with Geralt's lost swords, a tempting incentive, made even more complex by the undertones of politics and rivalry swirling between Kerak's noble families. Geralt listens quietly, his gold-flecked eyes reflecting the flicker of firelight. He senses the layers behind the guard's words, the urgency, the ambition, and the risks. Accepting means becoming entangled in power struggles where trust is scarce and motives shift like tides. Geralt weighs the cost carefully, remembering past bargains where magical contracts and political meddling left consequences that lingered longer than scars. As the proposition hangs in the air, Geralt asks pointed questions, seeking clarity who are the true players in this dispute, and what does the guard hope to gain? The guard's answers are measured, but certain details slip through, hints of personal ambition, of favors owed, and advantages to be secured. Geralt knows such jobs rarely lead to clean victories, yet the promise of help with his lost swords cannot be so easily dismissed. The campfire crackles quietly as Geralt takes a silent breath, the weight of the offer settling in his thoughts. In a world spun with secrets and shifting loyalties, there are seldom easy choices. He agrees to consider the deal, feeling the subtle gravity of events beginning to turn. Unseen by both, the night wind carries whisperous echoes of ambitions and dangers that lie ahead for the Witcher and his uncertain path. Chapter 4. Shadows over the noble house. The grand manor loomed before Geralt, its timeless stones shimmering softly in the candlelight. As the doors opened with a gentle sigh, a hush settled over the hallway, only broken by the subtle echo of footfalls on polished marble. Each step took him deeper into the elegant shadows, where every glance harbored secrets and every portrait watched from gilded frames. Geralt moved with deliberate calm past glimmering chandeliers and whispered tapestries. The air, heavy with the scent of old wax and lilies, seemed to carry voices just beyond hearing. Servants' eyes flicked his way, cautious yet curious, as if weighing invisible words. Tension simmered beneath smiles, and the Witcher sensed that every greeting hid a story, and every shadow an intent. In this place, nothing was ever as simple as it seemed. He entered a spacious parlor, where the noble family gathered in fractured silence, a tableau poised on the brink of conversation. Firelight danced across polished floors, painting the walls with slow, shifting gold. Geralt leaned quietly against the doorway, listening to veiled exchanges, a long-held grudge hinted at in a single, careful phrase, a rivalry lingering just beneath a courteous nod. Here, the past breathed quietly behind every word spoken. A servant brushed past, her eyes downturned, carrying a silver tray holding wine dark as midnight. Gentle laughter filled the room for a brief moment, thin and rehearsed. Geralt caught the fleeting tension in a clenched jaw, averted gaze, or a finger tapping restlessly on a velvet armrest. Through it all, he listened, piecing together the motives behind every glance. In these velvet-draped halls, nothing escaped his careful attention. As the evening deepened, whispers grew bolder, and the flicker of candlelight played tricks on polished mirrors. Geralt found a thoughtful corner, watching shadows shift across marble and wood. Each quiet conversation, each subtle gesture, told him more about the tangled loyalties and silent resentments thriving here. The Witcher understood, beneath noble calm, the house hid storms of its own, secrets just waiting to be awoken. Chapter 5. An ally in the library. In the soft heart of the manor, Geralt sought out solace beneath high shelves of dust and wonder. The sconces flickered gently, casting sleepy pools of light over ancient books. As he drifted deeper into the hush, he noticed a presence by the window quiet yet inviting. There, among worlds bound in leather, fate set the path for a new and gentle companionship to unfold. Her name was Coral, a sorceress whose gaze was tranquil as the moonlit lake. She greeted Geralt with the softest nod, acknowledging his love of silence in sacred places. Their first words were cautious, shaped by mutual respect for secrets and solitude. Voices barely above a whisper, they shared a warmth found only in true understanding, shaded by the comforting echoes of ancient wisdom lining the walls. In those delicate moments, Geralt sensed the makings of trust blooming quietly. Coral did not pry or prod, but listened as he spoke of lost swords and unfamiliar corridors. Her words floated like silk, each one woven with patience. Knowing glances replaced chatter, and together their hearts settled, soothed by the sanctuary that only a library can offer to those who truly seek its peace. Time slipped gently by, punctuated by the soft turning of pages. Coral and Geralt soon discovered shared joys, rare texts, old tales of storms and mages, the calming rhythm of parchment beneath curious fingertips. Sometimes their hands both reached for the same worn volume, and they paused, exchanging smiles that deepened the quiet bond growing in the library's glow. Trust bloomed softly, like ivy along a cool stone wall. As night pressed quietly against the old manor's windows, their whispered words lingered between books and shadows. What began as companionship and necessity gently became something deeper, a quiet alliance, comforting and steady. In the hush of the library, Geralt felt his burdens lighten, sheltered by the wisdom of Coral and the hush of endless stories. Soon, the world outside softened, held at bay by the magic they now shared. Chapter 6. Into the Cursed Woods. Geralt pauses at the edge of the forest, the world behind him fading into silence. The moonlight shivers across damp leaves, silvering the mist that clings to ancient trunks. Each step into the woods is deliberate, as if the branches themselves whisper his name. The hush here is thick, pressed with secrets and sorcery, promising either solace or something far more dangerous beyond the veiled shade. Shadows weave between the trees, their outlines softened by the drifting fog. Geralt follows faint footprints, the soft earth muffling every sound. Somewhere ahead, magic hums gently, twining through the roots and mossy boughs. With every careful stride, the Witcher senses a delicate balance between peril and hope, a fragile thread drawing him further beneath the tangled canopy. Nightbirds mutter quietly, their calls swallowed by the dense ancient air. The air is tinged with a subtle, electrifying tension, that strange moment before the forest reveals its truths. Geralt's medallion trembles faintly on his chest, the sign of hidden enchantments at work. The light changes, fading into spectral blue, dappling his path with splotches of mystery. Here, even his seasoned footsteps seem uncertain, the ground shifting under spells cast long ago. Something awaits her, secret or a warning just out of sight. Mist rolls low across the forest floor, curling around Geralt's boots as if eager to guide or deter him. The scent of moss, earth, and wildflowers hangs in the air, masking less friendly smells. Every breeze carries a hint of whispers, old and melodic, speaking in riddles to any who listen closely. The Witcher presses on, guided by instinct and a quiet promises where ahead lies the answer to both his current trouble and the silent call of hope. As Geralt ventures deeper, the forest transformed shapes flicker in the periphery, and time grows slow, elastic, dreamsome. The path narrows, hemmed in by roots and haunted memories. Beneath the moon's gaze, the Witcher's mind drifts to contracts made and lost, faces glimpsed in fireside reflections. Each heartbeat in the quiet wood reminds him that for every danger lurking, there may be a revelation waiting in the calm and ancient shadows. Chapter 7. The Beast and the Broken Pact. Beneath a heavy silence, Geralt wandered deeper into the moonlit woods, his senses alert for any disturbance. Shadows moved as if they breathed, the world hushed except for his slow, steady footfalls. In the heart of the clearing, he could sense a powerful presence, a lurking grief that chilled even the seasoned Witcher. Something ancient waited, bound by sorrow and the echoes of broken promises. A low growl shivered through the trees, Geralt stilled, hand close to his sole remaining weapon. The air hung thick with sadness, not malice. As branches parted, the beast emerged, its eyes glowing with pain rather than anger. Geralt recognized not only its monstrous form, but the story beneath its skeiner tail entangled with betrayal. The bond between men and monster had splintered, leaving both worlds fraying at the edges. Moving carefully, Geralt did not leap to draw steel. Instead, he listened, watching the creature's mournful body language under the pale glow of the moon. In a voice soft with shared understanding, he spoke to the beast, asking of its burdens and why the contract that once bound peace had shattered. The monster's reply was a low, melancholic rumble, filled with the weight of memories and the ache of a broken accord. The beast told its tale, voice trembling like leaves in a night wind. Promises had been made under the same canopy that now shadowed their meeting, promises of coexistence, mutual respect, and safety. But greed and fear had corroded these vows, leaving the creature hunted, hearts closed to its suffering. Geralt absorbed every word, his empathy shining quietly, a Witcher not just of swords, but of solace for those few who needed to be heard. As dawn slowly approached, Geralt made a choice. Instead of striking down the anguished beast, he sought to weave understanding back into the world's threads. He promised to speak for the monster, to share its truth with those who might yet listen. In the softened hush of early morning, two lonely soul-sown human, one not shared a fleeting accord. The woods exhaled, the weight of sorrow momentarily lifted, the path ahead brightened by compassion. Chapter 8. Storm over Kerak. A heavy hush has settled over the city, pressed down by the weight of whispered secrets and shifting allegiances. In this quiet tension, Kerak seems to hold its breath, waiting for the first hint of the coming storm. Geralt, ever the outsider, walks in silent corridors and crowded taverns alike, drawn by a promise he cannot leave broken and by the absence of his trusted steel. Though the castle's towers gleam beneath a grey sky, shadows twist through Kerak's courts. The city's rulers argue in hidden chambers, voices raised just above a murmur. Geralt listens, his silver hair easily lost among the cloaks and veils. He feels every shift in the air, every undercurrent of unease moving quietly among them. The political storm gains strength, silent but relentless, as plots brew behind closed doors. As rival factions circle, Geralt's calm becomes his greatest shield. He remains unruffled in the rising storm, seeing through bluster to the quiet truth beneath. He searches for clues, listening to wary words, watching guarded faces, and seeking any sign of his missing swords. Each step takes him deeper into the labyrinth, where alliances are as fragile as glass, and trust is a rare commodity. The city's unrest creeps outward. Nightly patrols grow wary, common folk whisper in corners and worry about the fate of Kerak. Even the air thickens with anticipation, as if the city itself knows a single misstep could tip the balance. Outside it all, Geralt moves quietly, his presence unsettling for those with secrets to keep. He threads his way through the web, searching for hope in broken promises. As midnight drapes Kerak in stillness, the storm within its walls continues to swell. Geralt pauses atop a moonlit terrace, gazing out at the restless city below. His mind, ever methodical, pieces together half-heard plans and veiled threats. The night offers no comfort, only the echo of his footsteps. Send the faint memory of an oath he intends to keep, long after the tempests have passed. Chapter 9. The scent of sorcery. The trail of clues led Geralt through moonlit woods until he arrived at a secluded dwelling, shrouded in mist and silence. Here, the home of a rival sorcerer waited, its windows throwing flickering firelight onto the ground. Each cautious step Geralt took was measured, his senses reaching out to grasp the subtle threads of enchantment that drifted through the air, whispering of secrets yet uncovered. Inside, the scent of charred wood mingled with unfamiliar herbs, the perfume of magic humming at the threshold. Shadows danced along the stone floor, shape-shifting in the fire's shifting glow. Geralt paused, attuned to the hush that spoke of veiled threats and concealed truths. Every whisper of the wind, every creak of timber might hold a hidden clue, moment stretching as Geralt prepared to unravel the intentions within these enchanted walls. The sorcerer, cloaked in the gentle folds of a midnight blue robe, emerged slowly from the gloom. His gaze met Geralt's with practiced calm, a faint smile playing around his lips. The air between them bristled with unspoken tension, as if even their greetings were spells layered with double meanings. Geralt nodded once, careful to mask his wariness, and began to weigh every word, knowing inside often hid behind shadows and smoke. They exchanged veiled courtesies, each phrase laced with caution. The sorcerer poured a ruby-red liquid into 2 cups, its aroma thick with the tang of enchanted berries. Geralt accepted, gaze steady, keenly aware that nothing in this house happened by chance. As the flames crackled, secrets seemed to flit among the embers, each spark a possible clue. Silence grew heavy, an invitation for truth to emerge, if one listened closely enough. Geralt listened, letting the sorcerer's words ripple over him, filtering truth from illusion. A slip in tone, a glance toward the hearth, and the rhythmic tapping of a silver ring on wood all offered hints. The witch's patience became his sharpest tool, allowing each gesture and sigh to build a picture of veiled intentions. As the conversation unfolded, Geralt prepared for whatever spell or secret the night would next reveal. Chapter 10. Reunion in the rain. As a gentle rain patters upon the forest leaves, Geralt finds shelter beneath an ancient tree. The world feels hushed and softened by the evening drizzle. In this calm, Coral appears, her presence framed by the soft glow of the rain-dappled light. The air is filled with anticipation as 2 old friends, separated by the trials of the season, are finally brought together again. Under the swaying canopy, Geralt and Coral share the warmth of quiet conversation. Rain softly drums above, creating a rhythm that soothes the tension built up across days of hardship. Coral brings vital knowledge, her words weaving a gentle tapestry of hope and reassurance. In the shelter of the forest, their exchange becomes a moment of peace, slow and grounding, letting Geralt's worries begin to drift away with the rain. Coral's insights illuminate the twisting path ahead. She reveals secrets hidden in the tangled contract that cost Geralt his cherished swords. Each revelation delivered in her calm voice helps untangle the web of politics and magic that ensnared him. As they speak, Geralt's resolve quietly rebuilds. The rain continues its soft song above, blurring the world's sharp edges and lending their dialogue a gentle, dreamlike quality. Beyond the comfort and knowledge, Coral offers a sense of forgiveness and understanding. The rain, once chilly, now feels like a cleansing balm. Geralt smiles, the lines of fatigue easing from his face under Coral's watchful gaze. As the world outside the canopy washes clean, so too does Geralt's spirit. This quiet reunion breathes new strength into him, preparing him to face the next challenge waiting within the shadows. Their reunion is brief but meaningful, watched over by a chorus of pattering rain. When Coral departs, she leaves Geralt with renewed courage and fresh guidance for his journey. The forest glistens with promise as the last of their words drift away on the moist evening air. Geralt, once weighed down by loss, now steps forward, his heart steadier and his purpose reignited, with the echo of Coral's wisdom guiding him onward. Chapter 11. The Raven's Bargain. At the edge of the mist-veiled city, Geralt slows his pace as a strange figure emerges. Cloaked in glossy black feathers, the messenger radiates an uncanny stillness. The night air is thick with anticipation, only disturbed by the faint whisper of wings brushing against cobblestone. Geralt studies the figure carefully, knowing that the world often hides its truths behind cryptic masks and silent gestures. The raven-cloaked messenger's voice is as smooth as polished obsidian, offering Geralt a proposition veiled in riddles. Each feather on the cloak seems to shift with every word, shimmering beneath the moonlight. Geralt listens with the practiced patience of a witcher, his breath slow and measured. The bargain is unclear, layered with conditions only revealed in hints. Every decision here could send ripples through the quiet fabric of the night. Geralt weighs his response, aware that accepting or refusing carries consequences beyond his sight. The city's edge feels suspended in time, shadows flicker, the distant calls of night birds echo. The witcher's calm voice breaks the silence, asking for clarity, never betraying emotion. The messenger leans in, feathers rustling, eyes reflecting secrets. In the soft hush, bargains are more than mere words. They shape fates gently, like ripples widening across still water. The raven's bargain brings with it a subtle unease, a test of trust in a world spun with deception and odd alliances. Geralt recalls past encounters with messengers like this, each carrying its own risks and rewards. He studies the offering precious, mysterious, and senses the careful patience woven in the messenger's posture. In the deepening night, choices become crossroads, to accept, to decline, or to seek another path carved by his own code. As the bargain hangs in the cool night air, Geralt feels the weight of unseen watchers. Lanterns in distant windows flicker gently, but here every sound is muted, every moment quietly stretched. The messenger waits, neither urging nor threatening, just observing. Geralt inhales the crisp, earthy scent of the city at night, and finally offers his answer, his voice steady and low. The choice, once made, will linger softly echoing in the calm stillness that follows. Chapter 12. Swords in the shadows, beneath the city's oldest bridge, midnight whispers ride the breeze. Geralt stands in the half-light, nerves taut like a drawn bowstring, his hands empty of the blades that shaped his legend. Around him, forgotten faces gather, moving in and out of lamplight, their expressions unreadable. The river slips by, hiding secrets just beneath its surface, as quiet anticipation thickens the shaded air. Soft footfalls echo on stone as figures close in, old allies and former foes alike. No words pass at first, only wary glances and subtle gestures, each revealing veiled intent. In this hush, alliances flicker uncertainly, caught between friendship and rivalry. Geralt's heart beats slow and steady, the chill of the river mingling with the warmth of memory. The city above sleeps, unaware of destinies quietly shifting beneath its ancient bridge. From the darkness, a familiar voice emerges, calm and assured. It offers a riddle, spoken so softly the river nearly carries it away. Geralt listens closely, knowing every phrase holds the fate of his missing swords. Each companion weighs the words carefully, as if secrets and salvation are hidden within. In the faint glow, trust and deception mingle, and Geralt must choose, reveal vulnerability, or guard his motives amid shaded secrecy. The meeting drifts on, measured with silent bargains and unsaid promises. A hand brushes a hilt beneath a threadbare cloak, another fingers a hidden token, binding them to old debts. Faces lit by moonlight betray flickers of doubt and hope as they negotiate the terms of midnight exchange. The river laps softly against ancient stone, masking what remains unspoken, while Geralt senses the balance tipping with every careful word uttered among the shadows. As the gathering dissolves, allies and adversaries disappear quietly into the night, leaving Geralt alone with his thoughts. The weight of what was shared and what was withheld settles over him. He gazes at the rippling water, reflecting on fate's uncertain design. The sword's whereabouts are hinted at, but certainty eludes him. Only the river knows all, cradling its secrets as it flows on, leaving Geralt pondering the shifting currents of trust and enmity. Chapter 13. The Calm After the Storm. Inside the quiet inn, warm candlelight flickers against rain-streaked windows. Geralt steps inside, the familiar weight of his swords finally back at his side. The gentle murmur of voices, laughter, and the distant patter of rain fill the air. He shares a look of contentment with his companions, feeling a rare sense of belonging after the chaos. For tonight there is only peace and soft conversation. Geralt sits close to the hearth, letting the gentle heat soothe his weary muscles. Around him, friends new and old share stories and pass mugs between hands. The tension that hung over them earlier has melted into gratitude and relief. In the glow and quiet, Geralt reflects on how fleeting peace can buy it, how important each calm moment is to treasure. Trust, laughter, and warmth linger as the storm outside finally fades. In the corner, Dandelion strums a gentle melody, his voice soft and steady, weaving songs of victory and friendship. Yennefer, ever watchful, allows a rare smile to grace her lips. The night is filled with easy banter and the comfort of understanding. Geralt finds himself lost in the rhythm of shared laughter, the glow of candles, and the softness of rain against the roof. For once, loneliness feels like a distant memory. As the evening drifts on, the inn becomes a sanctuary from old worries. Geralt listens to the rain's quiet lullaby, letting his thoughts slow and settle. He contemplates the long path that brought him Heretha, tangled fates, broken promises, and surprising friendships found along the way. Grateful for this gentle pause, he recognizes that trust, hard won, is the true treasure reclaimed tonight, more valuable even than his famed swords. The storm outside softens to a whisper, and the inn grows quiet as candles burn low. Geralt gathers his swords, slips upstairs, and looks back at his friends, hearts light in the aftermath of uncertainty. In the peace that follows chaos, he allows himself to hope for safety, for loyalty, and for the journeys yet to come. Within these walls, comfort lingers, and in Geralt's heart, a sense of calm finally settles. Chapter 14. Farewells under the moon. Dawn creeps gently across the city, and the mist hangs low, weaving silver patterns between silent rooftops. Geralt stands beneath the fading stars, their light mingling with the soft glow on the horizon. The world is hushed, as if holding its breath before daybreak. Gentle footsteps approach, and friendships forged through trials gather for one last moment together. Geralt turns to Coral, her eyes reflecting both the comfort of recent peace and the sadness of impending parting. They exchange words only they can fully understand, soft farewells laced with unspoken gratitude. There is reassurance, too, warm promises shared amid the slowly brightening dawn. Their hands briefly touch, each sharing strength for journeys ahead, both aware that destiny may yet bring them together again. Among Geralt's allies, laughter fades into tranquil silence. Old companions nod in acknowledgement, bonds tested and renewed by their shared ordeals. Even the city itself seems to sense this quiet closure, its ancient stones cloaked in pre-dawn serenity. There is a gentle sense of accomplishment in their eyes, as if peace, however temporary, has been earned, and the future, though uncertain, feels less daunting in the company of friends. As he steps through lingering shadows, Geralt allows himself a rare moment to breathe in calm. The troubles and dangers that shaped the night now give way to hope, whispered like the cool breeze that stirs the mist. He listens, letting silence settle over his weary thoughts. Each farewell, every soft promise made under the moon, adds a quiet strength for whatever he must face beyond these city walls. With the city still sleeping, Geralt begins to walk onward, the mist curling around his boots. He looks back only once, imprinting this peaceful moment in his memory. The dawn invites him to new adventures and trials, but the promises exchanged tonight provide comfort. Farewells given under the gentle gaze of the moon become guiding lights, leading him forward into the unfolding mystery of tomorrow's journey. Chapter 15. Into the Quiet Beyond. As the first thin light of dawn stretches across Kerak, Geralt departs in silence. The city behind him fades into gentle memory, its riddles unresolved but set aside for now. With swords slung across his back, he moves with unhurried steps toward the misty tree line, where branches are heavy with dew. The world is hushed, save for the soft rustle of fallen leaves underfoot. Geralt's path wanders beneath a sky quietly shifting from velvet night to muted grey. The swords that once felt like burdens now rest more easily across his shoulders, familiar companions in this new calm. The air is cool and fresh, filled with the earthy scent of moss and damp bark. Between tree trunks, morning light shimmers, weaving patterns across Geralt's path as he presses deeper into the tranquil woods. Patient mist clings to the ground, curling around Geralt's boots as he moves further from civilization. Each breath he takes is unhurried, matching the measured rhythm of his stride. The forest, washed by moonlight and kissed by the first rays of sunrise, seems alive yet utterly peaceful. Here he feels watched over not by people or spirits, but by the gentle timelessness of the ancient wood itself. Though the unknown stretches ahead, Geralt's mind is quiet, free from the restless churn of quests and contracts. The calm of the morning seeps into him, warming the edges of his weariness. Birds begin their tentative songs, their melodies joining the whisper of leaves high above. He lets the soft voices of the woods lead him onward, each step a promise to greet whatever awaits with open senses. As Geralt journeys deeper into this serene, moon-washed forest, the burdens of recent days seem lighter. He accepts the gentle uncertainty of the path forward, the quiet beyond rising like a gentle tide around him. The mist and first blush of dawn become companions, guiding him without urgency. In this tranquil hour, he allows himself to simply be to walk, to listen, and to greet the unknown with peaceful resolve.